Howdy, howdy, everybody, and welcome back to Stranded Deep in Conversation. And hello. It's been a bit. It's been like a couple weeks since I've last shown my voice, face, anything, really, over here on the old channel. And I figured I'd clear some stuff up, just go over the works, where I've been, all that sort of stuff. And I didn't make it incredibly obvious, so I don't blame people for not knowing if anyone even really was caring, to be honest. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. I am also going to say, this is the whole topic. There's no This Week in Retail, because actually, fun little thing, I had this whole last week off. I went on vacation because I had a very fun week planned with my sister and her wife, because they came back from California like Thursday of that week. So literally 2 weeks ago from when this is going up. They came. Sorry, since I haven't done a single ounce of recording or of anything, so I'm very still getting back into the mindset of that. But yeah, also, if you couldn't tell, my throat is a little iffy. I've been coughing my ass off for the past couple days, but now it's gone for the most part. There's still still pops up a little bit, so I might cough throughout this thing, but it's very quiet today, so I figured I would just do this now, get it out of the way. It's Monday right now, so the week is fairly fresh on my mind. Everything's going pretty good, and it was a very good week. I had a very good time. What I wanted to do was, for at least for this, have some like highlights of past streams and stuff like that come out. But that was before I thought they were coming out like the Friday or Saturday, so I figured I can take that Thursday to just get a bunch of stuff like edited and stuff and whatever. But I didn't plan very well, so I apologize for leaving this place pretty barren for the past couple weeks. But at the same time, it's fine, because again, this is just something I like to do, something I'm just doing for myself. So if I don't feel like there's time, then there's just isn't time. So it sucks to be me, I guess. But it's cool. It's very cool, because I had a very, very good week, and I figured today we'd go over that week and just talk about some of the stuff that happened. And it was just reminisce down old memory lane. However, I'm trying to do it early also, because I want to keep it fresh in my brain, because otherwise, if I tried to go and do this on Thursday, it would have been like most of the week had passed already. I wouldn't remember half the shit that I did. Because my brain just works like that. Like for instance, one of these days in particular, I kind of forgot most of what even happened anyway. Because it's not like we went to like the Bahamas or we went anywhere crazy. No, we went around some places in the area. We went to certain spots we've been wanting to go to for a while, and we had just a good time just hanging out together. So that was that. It was very fun. So let's just start with Sunday, because Sunday, well, I guess we can start from when they came back, because they came back on Thursday, fairly early in the morning as well. Or was it Thursday or was it Friday? It was Friday morning. It was Friday morning that they came back, I think. Either way, Thursday or Friday. One of those. But either way, they came back on one of those days. And we were so freaking excited, because again, it's been like a year and a half to close to 2 years, maybe. Yeah, because they left around Christmas time, like after Christmas time, like somewhere in like early January. They left 2 years ago, well, in 2021. So it's been almost 2 years, or 2022. I guess that would make more sense. Yeah, 2022. So they've been gone for a while, and it was really good to see them again. One of the first things I was handed was, you guys can't see it, I don't have the video on for this, but it's just a little stuffed pig named Squealer the second, just a cute little dude. And I also got a sick fucking white cowboy hat because they were passing through, I think it was Wyoming, and they called me and like, hey, if we find a cool hat, we got you, because I love hats. I'm a big corroborator of hats and hat accessories. It's very good stuff. But yeah, so we got that stuff. We went to, I guess like Dollar Tree and whatnot. Just a bunch of store browsing. Like most of the weekend, including Sunday, was just going to stores and buying some stuff that they needed for their cats and whatnot, themselves and whatnot, and just doing some stuff there. And it was pretty fun. One of the places I went to was like PetSmart, and I love going to those pet stores because they always have a bunch of cool little guinea pigs and stuff, cool little pets. They didn't actually have any guinea pigs there, except for 2 elderly, and from the sounds of because it was like an adoption thing, so they were like separated. I think they were show guinea pigs because they said they were 4 years old, and like their names were like Shirley and Temple, and they were on the stage or something. So they did I guess they did tricks. I don't know how doing tricks works with guinea pigs. I guess I had one, we had one that did some crazy shit, and her name was Gabe. They would just jump off of things and then just like sit there and be like, all right, pick me up, let's go, I did it, it happened. Like I guess he was maybe, and he was very young, so obviously he wasn't like a show guinea pig and just was remembered that he could do that, but he just did that. And the thing is, they're not supposed to jump off things. It could hurt their legs like a lot, but and we'd always like try to prevent him from jumping off of things. It's not like we like let him do this. He just kind of just randomly would jump over shit and on top of shit. One time we had him in like a thin plastic bin because we were cleaning out his cage, and everyone I was like the one person who was willing to clean out the cage, but then also I was the one person who was willing to like hold them at the time. So we had him in this like plastic bin that was pretty tall. He fucking leaped over that whole bin and then onto the couch to just like, because he didn't want to be in the bin, because I guess it was just a stupid bin. Why would he want to be in the bin? So he literally just leaped over this like maybe 8 inches of bin. And that dude had some leap to him. I don't know where he learned that. I don't know if he thought he was a rabbit. Maybe he was a rabbit. I have no idea. It's crazy. But it was weird. He's a weird dude, but he's a great guy. But I mean, I say he was a great guy. He's gone now, but throughout that day, my sister was talking to my other sister, my twin sister, about getting new guinea pigs, because their plan is eventually to move out, and then they're gonna move. My twin sister, who's been living with us, is gonna move with them, so it's gonna be those 3, just having a blast wherever they find a new spot. And they were talking about getting new guinea pigs for that, and they were like, hell yeah, they want to do that. And they were like, do you want to get them now? And every ounce in my body was saying, that doesn't exactly sound like a good idea, but you know what, it's not my guinea pigs, it's not my choice, so I mean, hey, because we have cats, that's the only thing that worried me. But just to spoil the story, we did wind up going to a place to get some guinea pigs, and we got guinea pigs, and you know what, the cats don't seem to bother them at all, which they didn't with our other guinea pigs, so I don't really know why I gave too much of a shit about that. Just one of our cats is a big of an asshole, so I'm always a little with that guy, but that makes sense. But yeah, we went to this cool place. I don't remember the name of it, but there's a big shark in the front, and you were able to like pet. There's like a stingray zone where there was stingray in like a big pond, and you could pet them. And it was we did it towards the end of the thing, so I'm going to talk about it in the beginning of my story, of course. But yeah, we went to go do that because they were like, let's go pet stingrays, and when we were done and everything, I was like, oh, I don't really know if I want to do that. Steve Irwin, he wanted to pet a stingray once. But they were really, really small ones, so I guess, I don't know if they can actually hurt people, but I have no idea. But they were brown, and they apparently just wanted to be pet. Like, it said, like, if you were patient, they would just come to you. And that thing was not kidding, because I was, like, hesitating, and I guess they took that as responsibly waiting, because it just started, like, going to, like, the edge of the thing, and, like, trying to, like, slap itself up there, so that way someone could pet it. And I'm like, oh, what? Since when were stingrays just tiny dogs. I don't remember that being a thing. I've never been to near a stingray, so I guess I can't exactly specify how that goes. But it was just weird, you know. It is a weird thing to experience, and they were very. Sorry, hold on. They were very slimy. Like that was a very slimy thing to pet. But they were cute. It was a very cute little dude. I've always liked stingrays. They've always been one of the more interesting ocean animals to me. So I mean, hey, I got to pet one. Pretty cool. And the people who were running that place were really, really nice. And they took a lot of good care of their animals and stuff. And they had a lot of weird animals. Lots of ferrets. They had a big old thing of ferrets, and apparently they were new to the thing, so no one was like able to buy them. So you just saw like a dozen ferrets in a big old, like, round jar, not jar, like a round, not a container, like an enclosure, a glass enclosure with like a dozen ferrets just fucking rolling around and shit and being dumb like ferrets. It was very cool. Yeah, we got our guinea pigs. They were pretty young, a couple months old. My sister named them Sonic and Chicken Nugget. So you know, pretty good names, pretty S tier names. I might put pictures up. I might not. I have a few days to work on this, I guess, so I could put pictures up. Sonic, bam. Chicken Nugget, bam. There you go. That's them. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'll forget I even did this. Who knows? You know what? There we go. I cut the things. Now I'll know when to do that. So there we go. I'm a genius. Yeah, so that was Monday, and it's already been 11 minutes, so I guess I don't really care for speeding up too much. I'm just here to talk. You know, it's been a while, so I want to get back into the groove of things. And obviously you can tell my throat isn't really still in the groove of things, but that's okay. We're cool. We're vibing. But yeah, it was a very fun Sunday, and then the rest of the night was pretty much just us getting them taken care of. They'll bring them home, and you know, just enjoying ourselves with them. It was very fun, a very cool time. And that's also, I believe it was the night where I got to meet my sister's other cat, because for the longest time she's only had one cat. It was her like hairless Sphinx cat named Stitch, which I vehemently, I guess that's the right word, call it the scrotum, or less scrotum, just because he's a little scrotum looking dude. He's very, very not hairy, believe it or not. Yeah, so I call him scrotum. But that's the one I've always had, but apparently they got a new one a couple months before moving, and their name is Wendy. And they are an absolute peach. They're like an orange cat. I don't know if they're a calico or not, but I think a calico is the orange cat. Either way, they're a cat. They're an orange cat. Tabby maybe is the right one. I don't know. They're an orange cat, and they are a little stupid like that, but they're also very, very anxious. So like the slightest thing kind of scares them, shit. And they always look sad. They always look absolutely miserable. And they say that whenever they're like in hunting mode, where they're like trying to like stalk a toy or something, they always just look absolutely miserable. Like they're just like looking at it like, please just let me catch you. I'm so sad. I just really want to be caught. I made the face. You guys couldn't see the face, but I made the face. So it's a cute freaking cat. I'll say it, to say the least. You know, it was a very cute cat. And they just kind of flop in your arms because they don't really know what to do. They're just kind of there, just exist. So you know, they ain't give a shit. So they're very cool cat. And the scrotum was always as good as ever. He's a lot smaller than I remember. They say they lost a fair bit of weight because they were pretty overweight at first, but then they started feeding them correctly or something. I don't really know the whole jiv and gist, but they're healthy. That's good. That's all that matters, really. And that was pretty much all I can really remember of Sunday. I didn't write these things down immediately after, which I immediately regretted because I always told myself I should write these down. But I'm like, no, because I'm literally still talking to them, and I don't want to I don't want to like seem like I'm not in the moment, because I'm just trying to talk to these people and just have fun with them. I wasn't gonna just go to my phone and like write down what we were doing, what we just talked about. So a lot of stuff might get forgotten, and I'm sorry, but I mean, also I'm mostly sorry for myself because some of these stranded deeps in conversations I kind of put here. And some videos here too, I put here to just kind of remind myself of things that have happened in my life, because it's just, interesting stuff, things I don't want to forget. So I mean, the internet will never forget. So if I put them there, then hey, I'm sold. I'm not sold. What's the word? I'm good. I'm good to go. I don't know. Sold is we'll say sold. But yeah. So then there's Monday. Monday was our probably biggest adventure that we did. So really good to do that right in the beginning. We went back to Brooklyn, New York, because that's where we originate from. We originate from the Bensonhurst area of, of Brooklyn. And let me tell you, there wasn't much change at all. Like, there were some. Well, first of all, the ride was like 4 hours at least. I think it was close to 5 hours. You know, so because we live like kind of we live kind of close to the furthest east bit of Pennsylvania. So it wasn't too long. But just Brooklyn didn't really change much at all. Most of the buildings were the same. There were some buildings that like had different stores than I remembered, but there was one big change, which is the worst change that ever could have actually happened. And to this day, my friends keep updating me because they still live in Brooklyn. They keep updating me with new updates about this thing that I despise. And that is the fact that there's a bagel store that was pretty close to where I used to live, and they closed down. And that was literally, I've told my sisters this, and if my friends watch this, sorry. I prioritized in my brain going to that bagel store more than even seeing my friends that day, because I haven't had a good bagel in a couple years. Because the last time I went there was probably when my older sister was still in town, so I haven't been there in like a couple of years. I missed those bagels with all my life. Their bagels and their bacon, egg, and cheese on a sesame or an everything bagel, or even an egg bagel, or even a plain bagel. It didn't matter. They just had such good bagels, and it complemented the sandwiches so well. It was literally the best bagel store in Brooklyn, and it went complete. They didn't get bankrupt or anything. They just retired because they I think they were around since like the 50s or the 60s, or 70s maybe. It was old. It's an old place. It's a very, very old place. So I understand that they wanted to give it up, but god damn it, why did they could have literally they told me it happened like a month or so before we were going there. So they were like, we gotta get out of here. Those people are coming. You know, the old regs, those douche nozzles, get them out of here. It was awful. You know, that crushed me. And going there and seeing that bagel store with people inside trying to tear some stuff down, that hurt me. That really hurt me. And the most recent update I've gotten is that it is completely empty now. So, and soon people won't even remember that there was a bagel store there. Not just a bagel store, the best bagel store. It hurts. It genuinely hurts. But either way, I didn't stay actually in Brooklyn for too long because I met up with my friends, and one of them had to work that day. So me and my one other friend were like, what are we gonna do? What we ended up doing was going to a couple places that they liked in Manhattan, because they had been doing a lot of going into Manhattan lately because they have a lot on their mind. I hope you're doing well, my good old pal. Hope you're doing okay. But yeah, so we went to Manhattan just to go to a couple places, and one of those places was Spyscape, which is like a spy museum sort of thing, but it's also very interactive, so there were a lot of like little games you could do. It was very cool, very fun place. I've always loved spy movies. I've loved spy things. And anything, like as a kid, I would always get like those little like spy kits and stuff, like the spy books and whatnot. That's some of my favorite stuff. And so going in there just seemed like a yeah. If I'm going over there with you, we're going there. That's happening, because that just sounds cool as fuck. And it was very cool. Lots of cool stuff. I have pictures. Maybe I'll show some right now. But I'm not gonna cut this one because I don't really feel like doing that. So I'm not gonna do that probably. But maybe at some point I'll put some up somewhere. What I will try to do is get the and for the end of the video, I will get the footage of one of the things we did, because one of the things we did was a sort of laser thing where you had to like, it was like a thin, pretty small room where you had to hit a bunch of buttons on a wall, but there were lasers in the way, so you had to dodge the lasers and stuff. And I wasn't the best at dodging the lasers. I hit like one or two every now and again, but I went on that a couple times. I went on my own, and then I went with my friend, and it was very fun. I probably had a very odd way of doing that, but it was very fun. Regardless, I had a really great time there, and there were these like little stations where you have to like, so you wear like a little wristband. If you put the wristband at a station, it gives you like a little like thing where you do like a quiz or like a little mini game or something. And there was a child-sized one on most of them, all of them actually, because children would go there too. So and for the first one that we went to, there was two spots, and one of them was a child-sized one. And I didn't realize it was a child-sized one until I was like, "Hey, you're standing a lot higher than I have to for this. What the hell? I get the child-sized one?" In which point I just took it as, okay, well, I just did it with every single one now. So every time I would literally wait for the child-sized one to be free, and then I'd be like, all right, cool, let's do this. And eventually, one of the people who worked there noticed, and were like, I need to say something. Every single one I've seen you go to, you've gone to the smaller one. I'm like, well, he's like, why would you do that? And I was like, oh, I mean, I did it by accident at first, and now it's just fate. It's just what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's just great. That guy was very cool. He really seemed to enjoy working there, which is very nice. I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't. It's a very cool place. But yeah, so we went, and then at the end we did the laser thing. He told us how to do the laser thing, and that was very fun. He was a really cool guy. I got some stuff at the gift shop. There was a cool kaleidoscope thing that I got from my sister, because I know she likes that sort of stuff. And a couple other things from me. Nothing too crazy. I didn't want to spend too much money, because I already spent like a fair amount of money going in there. Because, believe it or not, most things that are cool you have to pay to even get into, which already kind of cuts your costs a fair bit. But then after that, we went to the Harry Potter exhibit, which was not too far away from the Spyscape thing. But it was pretty much the exact same sort of thing. You get a little wristband, some things are interactive, and then at the end you kind of have a little gift shop you can go around. I'm gonna say it was less fun than the Spyscape one, because there weren't as many games. It was more so just like, touch your thing to the thing, click a thing on the screen, and something happens. It wasn't as entertaining. I took a lot more pictures of my friend than I did at the other place. Just because there was a lot more like cooler. I think they had cooler stuff to look at, because it's like a whole world thing that they were trying to put in there. But it was just less interactive, I'll say that. But it was still very cool, still very fun. I have a lot of just dumb pictures of like me under the stairs, and like me in some big chair, me in Hagrid's chair. It was a very cool place. And I do enjoy me some Harry Potter. Like when I first read those books in like freshman year of high school, I read them like one after the other. I was so fucking excited about that, because I kept reading the same book over and over, and it was like a pretty lame book. And my teacher was like, "Dude, you can read better than that. You go find a book that's good to read. Like, I'm not gonna force you to, but I really just think you should." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure, I'll do that." And I was like, "All right, Harry Potter. Oh, sure, that was good." And it's pretty good. I want to play the game, but it just costs money. I mean, like $60 for a game is a lot. And another thing, some things are going for $70 now. Like, people going crazy. Like, I'll stick with like the random stupid indie games that I find. Like, honestly, that stuff is honestly more fun most of the time too. Anyway, so it kind of works out. God, okay, I'm going a little too slow. After that, there was another like Harry Potter store with like a little butterbeer tap that I went to, and that was really good. I'm still not very into the sparkling bit of drinks, but that thing had a bunch of fucking whipped cream on top, which kind of, I guess, nulled some of the fizz. So it's fine. Also, they came with a little cup that I just held up to the camera, which has a lens cap on it, and it's not even on. So I'm a genius, quite frankly. But yeah, that was really fun. Really cool place. It had a lot more cool stuff in terms of buying things, but I like a lot more like candy and stuff. I got like some flies and some those beans that taste like meat and dirt and blueberry occasionally. And then I got like a chocolate frog for my sister's wife because they're also really into Harry Potter, so I figured I'd get them the cooler thing, and also get her some like little other things. Lots of candy. I mostly just bought candy from that place. And from there we're like, all right, I gotta get going because it's like we got there at like 2 something, at 2:15, and we left because we needed to go to get my friend out of work around 7. So we had like 5 hours of fun in Manhattan, which was good. And then we went back to Brooklyn. We went to get my friend from work. And then we just sort of walked to this like fair thing. 'Cause around where we used to live, there was I used to live, there was a big fair that was going on. And we were like, oh shit, that's pretty fun. Let's go do the fair. And the moment we stepped into that fair, and also there was a lot of talking with them, and I had a blast doing that. I love talking to my friends, and when we play video games, they don't really feel like talking very much. They want to play the game. So it's good to, I like having that in-person just conversation, because the only thing you can really do is just talk to your friend. I love that. It's very, very awesome. I love doing that with them. But yeah, we went to this fair, and the moment we stepped close, there was this big ass banana with dreadlocks that was like hanging off of someone's booth for like a little game, and I was like, friend, you've gotta get me that. You need to win me that banana. I want that banana so bad. And he's like, I'm not gonna bring you the banana. Shut up. I'm like, okay, fine. Oh, well, okay, I didn't touch the computer in a while, and it stopped everything that was happening. So okay, I remember to touch the mouse every now and again, but yeah. Yeah, so we got to the booth. So eventually, we're kind of just walking through it. We didn't really do much. I got a corn dog for like $7 that they wrapped in tinfoil after like cooking it in the fryer for like maybe 30 seconds. They're like, it's very hot, be careful. And I took a fair amount of steps away from there to let it cool off. And by the time I took a bite into it, I realized that the fucking hot dog in the middle was incredibly cold. It was like there may as well still been ice on it. It was that cold, but it was. I mean, it still tasted good, so I still ate it. But holy shit, that thing was not cooked. So I can see why they just kind of said, it's hot, go away. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Yeah, it was still fine. And then eventually we go down, and I'm like, friend, I want to play a game or something. We can't just walk around here and be like, that's too much money, that's too much money. I want to like play something. Which is like fair. I mean, obviously I'm not going to make him spend like hundreds of dollars trying to get me a banana, but I was like, I want to at least try a game. And there was this one game where it was a guy with a big old mustache and saying like, hey, throw darts at balloon, you get prize. I'm like, okay, sure. And he's like, no one loses. I'm like, alright, yeah, sure, why not? So we give him $20 for 3 shots, by the way. It's a lot of money, so already $60 down the hole for all of us to play. My first friend goes, he gets none of them. Ha ha ha, funny, laugh at him. He gets like a tiny little penguin thing. Second friend goes, he gets 2 of them. Very cool. And then it's my turn to go. I get all 3, because I've actually gotten fairly good at throwing darts. At least a little bit better than usual. And so what happens next is he gives me and my friend, who got 2, well, he got 2, I got 3, the same prize, by the way. We both get a monkey. And then he's like, okay, so for free, I'll let you throw another one, and then if you get it, I'll give you a better prize. Like one of the ones from like the top row. And I'm like, okay, cool. So one of my first friend goes, he misses it. He's like, alright, yeah, you penguin, chill. My other friend goes for it. He misses, and then it goes to me. I hit it, and he's like, okay, you can get a big prize, blah blah blah, for another $20, one more dart. You can try to hit one. You get that big banana over there. And I'm like, you know what? I really want that banana, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. So I'm good. And then my friend's like, fuck it, I'll do it. I'm like, no, at least let me give you the 20, because obviously, I mean, I feel bad that I dragged him there. I don't want to make him spend another 20. So eventually $80 goes to this man's hand, and I didn't pay for the dart, so he goes for it, and he fucking nails that balloon. So he gets the big-ass banana. And I'm like, holy shit, let's go. So he gets a banana, I get my monkey, because I thought I got a big prize from hitting the next one. But he's like, no, you traded it for the banana. I'm like, oh, okay, well, fine. And so I got a monkey, he got a big-ass banana, and my friend got a penguin. And at which point, he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this fucking huge-ass banana. Do you guys want this banana? Like, I'll take the monkey if you want the banana. I'm like, dude, absolutely. So, what eventually happened is he got me that fucking banana. And I'm like, yeah, I knew you'd get me the banana, friend. I always believed in you. Which I pretty much, I mean, I kind of paid mostly for, so I pretty much spent most of the money that I took out in cash to do that. So very fun, very cool time. Also, that guy flashed my friend because he was. I don't remember the entire circumstances as to why he flashed my friend, but he was just like, "Hey, I know you can do this because I know I can't because I got boobies." And then he he pulled up his shirt and like waggling at my friend, and he was just like, "What the hell? Why?" it was very stupid. But then eventually, like 8 o'clock came, which was where we were gonna be like, "Hey, I gotta get going home." We're gonna going back to them because they had to drive me home. So we start walking away, and we get to like the station that we were supposed to meet at, and they're like, "Oh, hey, we actually went to go grab it at the fair." He's like, I did show up pretty late for like the time, so they were like, "Oh, we'll just meet you at the fair." And we're like, "Shit, we just walked away from the fair." And then my friends were just like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go back to the fair. I'll see you guys around." And they left. It was very fun hanging out with them again. And then I went back to the fair. And they were at like a little bakery thing, and they're like, "Oh, we can walk around a little bit in here." And we found some like little booths of like stuff to buy, which was very cool. Lots of fun little jewelry and stuff. And actually, for exactly, why am I picking it up? You can't see it. For the exact amount of money I had in my pocket, I was able to get a Harry Potter thing. It was a golden snitch necklace thing that is also a watch. It's a pocket. It's a little watch. It's really cool. So right now I know that it is 8:42 or something. 8:42. It's 8:42. Look at that magic. So it is magic. It's a Harry Potter. But yeah, it's really cool. It's like they had some like silver and like bronzy ones, but I want the gold one because I mean it's fucking golden snitch. I mean, of course. I mean, what am I? Some kind of loser? Some guy who prefers things that actually look like they could go with other things? No, I want this big, obnoxious gold necklace. But it's very cool. I'm very happy I got it. It was exactly as much money as I had, and it was good. It was a good time. And then we went home, paid a couple tolls, because everyone's got to have a toll now. And then we came home, and we chillaxed. I cannot remember if we did anything after that. And now we go into Tuesday, which was a day that was completely fogged in my mind. I don't remember what we did. I remember some things that happened that I can't exactly place what day we did them. So, there may be these. But we played a SpongeBob version of What Do You Meme, which I put in quotations. It could have been Sunday. It literally could have been 2 days before, in the middle of the night. I have no idea. Which was it was pretty fun. I sucked at it. No, I think I got dead last in that. But as we were playing, I was like, well, if I'm not gonna win, maybe I can give him like a little trophy. So I like I have like a little pack of stupid fake trophies in my thing. So I like took one. I took a label out of my drawer. And I like quickly just wrote up a trophy, and then whoever won was like, "Here you go, it's a little trophy." And they're like, "You had that planned this whole time?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I did like kind of secretly, which I say was secretly. It was more so me fumbling around my room. Like, I gotta get this. I gotta what's in here. Okay, I gotta go. And it was a fucking disaster, but it was very fun. Very fun game. And then we were like, "Oh, we should play Cards Against Humanity," because I have that too. And they like little fun party games. So I'm like, yeah, we'll play that eventually, because we were tired, so we didn't really want to do that. So I know these weren't the same day then, because the next thing I have here was we made bead bracelets while watching the first Final Destination movie, which I say also could have been Monday night, like right after we like came back from Brooklyn, which it has to be that. It was. So after we went to Brooklyn, we stayed up to like 4 in the morning making bead bracelets while watching the first Final Destination movie. It was very, very fun. I don't normally make those sort of things. But, I wanted to, hang out with my sister. So, yeah, we'll make some of these. It was very fun. I really did enjoy that. I suck at knot tying still, despite learning how to do it once. So, sorry, throat. One more. So, what eventually we wound up doing was, they tied them for me. And I made 3 bracelets. I have one that's like a red, orange, yellow, and brown, sort of like a fall theming, fire theming, whichever one you want to go with. I've got like a bowling one, which is just a black round bead, and 10 white thin long beads as a bracelet. And then I made like an ocean themed one with some blue in there, and then there was some like fish. Like I put like I used 4 yellow beads that kind of will make, when I put them together, kind of look like a big shark. And then I had some like little fish beads that made some little like fins at the back. I thought it was really creative and clever. And my sister was like, "Ooh, that's so cool." I'm like, "Yeah, thank you. I tried really hard to make this work, and it worked." But none of them are the right size. All of them were too big, but they still, can. They're not like big enough that they start rolling up my entire arm. They just go like halfway up my arm, and like, "Oh, can't go. Do not pass go." But it was very fun. They made some really freaking cool ones too. Like they're very good at like choosing like color patterns and stuff and making that work. But the main thing that happened that day, other than like watching the first Final Destination movie, was we were on the ground just doing that stuff. But out of nowhere, something falls from the fucking sky. Something literally falls off of our ceiling or something. Somewhere, just something flew at us, and we're like, "What the hell was that? What is this?" And we look at it. It's guinea pig poop. It's a piece of guinea pig poop that is incredibly dry and crusty. So it's old. It's like pretty old. And we only had the guinea pigs for like a day or two at this point. So it's not theirs unless it dried really fast. I don't know. So it's probably guinea pig poop from our old dead guinea pigs that just flew out of the fucking sky. Like it just felt like adding a bead to the collection. And I'm like, "No, we're not using that. That's disgusting. Go away." It was very funny. It was pretty funny. But yeah, that was Tuesday, which probably wasn't Tuesday. I can reasonably see both of these things happening on different days. Tuesday might have been something incredibly awesome and fun. I genuinely wish I could remember it. Maybe I'll ask my sisters later, and then I'll just have that in my brain. But Wednesday, I know what we were supposed to do, and then I kind of remember what we did instead. We were supposed to hang out with one of my twin sister's friends from work. Oh, at least he used to work with them. But they ultimately said, "Hey, I can't do it." So we were like, "All right, we'll just go somewhere else then," because we got, we still want to use our day. We don't want to just sit here waiting around for no reason. So we went to a big Walmart in the area, just because it was cool. And I believe it was Wednesday. Wait, I can track this one down too. Hold on. So Saturday was the 26th. I had that from the 23rd. So 25, 4, 3. It was Wednesday. I know it because I got some bread from there, and it expired in 3 days on the 26th. So that's why God, I'm so smart. I remember things. I remember details like that, but I don't remember the big details, like where we went or what we did. But I remember buying some bread that was expiring soon. I don't know. But I went to Big Walmart, and I love Big Walmart because they have the light bologna Lunchables. So I bought every single one they had because that's the only way you can get light bologna anymore. Because Oscar Mayer said, "He, I don't want you to have light bologna anymore." So they said, "Fuck you," to me, including specifically. They also wanted to make baked ziti, so we got the stuff to make it there. And they've been making us food a couple times before this throughout the week, and their food's delicious. I tried shrimp that day, or one of those days. They made like a big shrimp pasta. No, it was shrimp, corn, and some other stuff. It was like a shrimp soup kind of, with some like potato in there, and that was pretty good. Never had shrimp, and so eating that for the first time was very weird, very chewy, but not bad overall. Like a 7 out of 10. It's still fairly new to my brain, so my brain didn't really want to eat it, but it tasted good. So no harm, no foul there. Oh yeah, we went to like a Chinese food place. I don't remember which day this was either. It was either Wednesday or Tuesday, I guess, because it wasn't any of the last half of the days. I remember what happened then, because that's still fairly fresh. It might have been Tuesday though. We went to a Chinese food place. And it was very cool. It was very fun. It was like it was supposed to be a hibachi place, but it wasn't a hibachi place at all. It said hibachi in the name. It wasn't a hibachi place. Because hibachi is the thing where like there's a guy like cooking it right in front of you, and they give you some shit, and they're like, "Ha, eat up." Sorry, guys. But yeah, that didn't happen. But it was just a big buffet that was pretty cheap as well. And so I was like, all right, I want to try some things. I don't really eat Chinese food. Whenever my family would order from Chinese food places, I would get chicken nuggets and french fries. I'm not even kidding. Sometimes I get like a plain lo mein or like a white rice. But that's as far as I went. So I was like, I want to try some stuff. So I got some chicken and some fries and some like mashed potatoes and mac and cheese in the works. But I also had like a plate sort of dedicated to new stuff. So like different like ways of cooking chicken stuff. Like there's like a teriyaki chicken on like a skewer, like a honey chicken, like General Tso's chicken. Lots of meat. I got some like spare ribs. Yeah, some like they're like spring beans or string beans. There we go. God, I'm stupid. And then some other things. And like there's like these like cheese ragoon, cheese something. It was like a wonton. It was a cheese wonton, which apparently I ate like 4 of them. Like, this is very sweet but very good. Apparently they had what's the word? They had imitation crab in them. That's what it was. And so they literally told me after I ate a bunch of them, like, oh, that's why it's so sweet, but it's still pretty good. I mean, I don't hate it. So I guess I like imitation crab shit too. Ultimately, everything I had, I did mostly eat. Like, my plate still looked pretty full because their mac and cheese was disgusting, and I refused to eat more than like 2 scoops of it. It was so watery and mushy and like just it was not right. It was not right mac and cheese. So my plate looked incredibly full because that thing like liquidated like across my entire fucking plate. But other than that, and like the string beans, because they were way too sweet and like soggy, I thought they'd be very crunchy. So maybe I'll like that. But no, they were very soggy, so I didn't like that. And then there was that, and like some of the spare ribs kind of had some weird texture to them, so I didn't eat all that. But the chicken stuff, every ounce of that chicken shit that I got was very, very delicious. And my sisters also got like pork dumpling things that they didn't like, that I tried. So I'm like, oh, I'll try that, and that was really, really good. That was like my favorite thing I got that I didn't actually get myself that day. So I was like, yeah, I can't believe they hate this. That's crazy. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, so then they got like ice cream and stuff too. And I remember trying to find the water. Couldn't find water, so I just got a cup of ice and I sucked on some ice, and they were like, oh, there's the water, and they got me water because I'm a fucking idiot apparently. So that was that. I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't remember. I'm glad I remembered it even happened because I forgot that it even happened until now. And it was very fun, and we just joked around, had a laugh. Obviously, it goes without saying, it was a fucking blast everywhere we went. It was very, very fun to hang out with my sister again, and my sister's wife again, because they're 2 really, really cool people, and I missed, almost threw up on you, missed having in my life. So we got some stuff from Walmart. I'm not dying, I swear. One more. Alright. Yeah. Pretty good day. And then Thursday. Thursday was mini golf day, baby. I was going to do it on the Wednesday, but then we were like, oh, we have some plans. Other people say, okay, well, can we do it Thursday? And we're like, yeah, let's do it on Thursday. So I love mini golf. Mini golf is one of my favorite things to just do. I love mini golf. I love bowling and stuff like that. I love just like super chillax sports that are kind of just like play them with people, not against people. Big fan of those. Yeah, so we played some mini golf, and it was a really nice place. It had a lot of, it was outside, and we went in like the afternoon when it was pretty warm here. So what ultimately wound up happening was a lot of like wasps and like bees and just big bugs of sorts would chase us or like float around where we're supposed to hit the ball. So what we would do is we'd swing as fast as we can to hit our ball, and then we just run across to wherever the hell we hit it, just so that we can get away from whatever the hell was over there. Because we don't want to deal with that. They're big scaly bugs. Fuck that. Hate bugs. I love bugs from a distance. I hate bugs from anywhere too close to me. But we played some mini golf. The first shot that we did, actually, was set the tone very greatly because my sisters, everyone pretty much did okay. And then I had hit it with a little too much power, and it got off the course. But I was like, no, I'll still play it from here. It's fine. It's just a bunch of grass. So it took like 12 shots to get it out of the grass and enough to like a place where I can actually like hit it from underneath to actually get it back up, which I did pretty fucking masterfully, if I say so myself. And then I eventually scored in like, I don't know, like 13 shots or something. It was a lot of hitting the ball. And lo and behold, everyone else kind of had some shots like that, where like they kind of shot it too much, or they shot it too far, or took them too many hits. They couldn't hit it. Everyone's short game was on the opposite of fire. It was like, it was ice cold. We sucked at the short game. Because you kind of forget how easy it is to put too much force into a swing when you don't play mini golf in a while. We haven't played mini golf in years, so it's been a long time coming. And at least, yeah. It was very fun though. We were very bad at it, and all the courses were very fun. There was one course where there was a tunnel that there was like 4 different tunnels you can go through, and they each took you to a certain spot underneath. And one of them, I was trying to go down, because there's 4 tunnels, and everyone went down a different tunnel. I went, okay, I'm going to go down this one, just to see where it leads. And apparently, when we first got over there, my older sister was like, okay, so this one's blocked, so that's not going to be the one hole. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I took from that? I took from that one isn't look blocked. So it's probably the hole-in-one hole. So I'm like, oh, good to know. Thanks for telling me, competitor. So I spent so many shots because I overshot it. So I had to go around all the other smaller holes. Everyone was pretty much done at that point. And it took me. I finally get over to that hole, and I'm like, it's blocked. And I'm like, hey, you said it wasn't blocked. And she was like, no, it was blocked, you idiot. So like, I just spent like 12 shots trying to get over here. And maybe I'll have a good laugh about that. And eventually I did hit it down one of the other stupid holes. And it took me a long time because my short game sucked. And pretty much wash, rinse, repeat that sort of feeling a few times. Because that's pretty much just the gist of that day. For everyone at least once or twice. And there were some other times where I'd get it off the course. But then somehow I played so much better off course than on course. Like I feel like if every game was like a bunker shot, because I was pretty good at like hitting it over stuff. Like when I was in the dirt and there was like a wall like right next to it, I was really good at just like lobbing it over the wall and then like having it go pretty far after that. So I feel like if we had a bunch of bunker shots, I could have probably done way better, but we didn't. So sucks to be me, but it's cool. We still had a lot of fun. I did lose, but I didn't actually lose the most. My older sister lost by 4 more points than I did. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. We both had like 150 something. I think she had 155 and I had 151 or something like that. And then my twin sister had like a 120 something. And we're like, holy shit, wow. And that actually won pretty much because my sister's wife had some like back pain, or I forget exactly what, but they were like sitting out for like the last like few holes, so they didn't technically count, but if they did, they probably could have won or something. They had, maybe, I don't know, because they had like 90 something already. Because again, we were not really playing to win. We were kind of just playing to hit the ball a lot and have a good time. So we did have a good time, needless to say. But yeah, so my twin sister won. Cool. I didn't have a trophy ready. I didn't either, but it was very fun. Very, very, very good time playing mini golf again with some really good people. And then that night, we finally actually got to play Cards Against Humanity, because every day since we mentioned that we wanted to play it, we were like, we took it out and we were like, alright, let's play it. And they were like, well, I mean, I'm feeling pretty tired. We just went out, did a lot of things. Let's just chill and have a good night. It was just slow roll. And it took us days to eventually actually play that damn game. But right after we got home, we were like, alright, Cards Against Humanity time. Ooh. Alarms, 9 o'clock. I woke up a lot earlier than I normally do. Which is probably why it's so quiet. But yeah. Pretty good stuff. And then after Cards Against Humanity, what we played that. I sucked so bad again. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, that whole game, I went like 4 full rotations without getting a single card. And everyone was just drenched in success. Until, towards like the second half of the game, I guess, where I actually got pretty good and I got up to second place. My sister's wife won the last thing. She lost by a fair margin this time. And then my twin sister tied with like the random that we had, which is my little squealer the second, little stuffed animal over here. Oh, I tied for third. Then I got second with like one more card than them, and then my older sister had like 9 more cards than that. So, pretty good. She knew how to play everyone's funny boxes. Funny bones, I guess is a more correct term. It was very fun. And then we went to like a gas station things and needed some gas, and we got a couple snacks. And there was a lottery ticket machine. All right, I'll get us all like $1 lottery ticket thing. And I get them, and then I don't win because I never win. And my older sister got a free ticket, which the free ticket lost. So, I mean, very, very familiar feeling for me, because that was the same ticket where I got a free ticket, and then I got another one, then I got a free ticket, and I got another one, and then I lost. So, it strung me on more that day, but it didn't string her on as much as it strung me on that one time. So, fun stuff. But then we were like, oh, I always want to try like the bigger ones, because I feel like you have a better chance of winning. I'm like, alright, fuck it, sure. So we each got a $5 one, so which I didn't win. And then 3 of us didn't win, but my sister's wife got a free $5. They got a $5 reward. So they spent 5 to get 5. I spent 20 to get 5. And then, right, oh, okay, cool, 5. Alright, we'll just throw it another one, because, it's only $5. What are you going to do? It's not too crazy. And then, so we threw that 5 back in the machine. I got a different ticket, and then they got $20, because it was like, if you get this symbol, you get double the prize that's shown below. And they got that symbol. I've never seen anyone get a symbol like that before, like, at any of those games. Like, you get this symbol and, like, this much more. But they got one, and it was $10, so we got $20. So, ultimately, we earned 25 and spent 24. We're still mostly out, like technically speaking, but I guess not. Because yeah, that made up for all those, and then that made up for that, which then made up for that. Technically, I think we earned $1 more than we spent that day, which was pretty good. Pretty good haul. Pretty good lottery haul. But yeah. So then I still have 2 more days, and oh god, we did a lot on Saturday. Okay, this is going to be a long episode, so buckle up. It's already longer than normal, but, just telling you to buckle up now. This is sort of the length I used to try to strive for with this series, 'cause it's supposed to be like more of a podcasty thing, where I just talk for a while. But I would play Stranded Deep while I talked, so I kind of just wasn't really focused on the topic at all, so... I'm still doing that. I'm not still playing while I talk. I'm playing after I talk. At first I played before I talked, which then made me like cut off very drastically in the middle of a story. So I'm doing it the reverse way now, just to see if that works better. So I'm gonna have to play for a long time, sometime in the future, which is fine. I like Stranded Deep. It's a very fun game. But either way, we still have 2 more days to talk about. So let's talk about Friday. Oh, also, Thursday, we finally made it to Big Ziti. We got the stuff a couple days before, or the day before. And then we actually made it and ate it, and it was very tasty. Very good stuff. I'm a mess. So Friday, we go to the mall, because there's an arcade at the mall that we wanted to go to. So we went to the arcade. We were going to do bowling and arcade, but we decided ultimately we were just going to do arcade. That's what they wanted to do. Which is fine. We can always go bowling another day. They're not going back to California. They're trying to find a spot very close to here. So, yay. They're going to be around to just do some stuff with if we have the same days off and stuff. So, it'll be good. It'll be a very fun time. But, went to the mall, did some arcade stuff. First because they want to get, a tattoo. Done, so they went there first to just double check that everything was good. Their appointments were set and made. They're good to go there. And then they went with me to the arcade, the glorious arcade, which is a very fun place. I really do love going there. And there's a lot of stupid games. There's a Crossy Road game that me and my sister played, where she actually kicked some major ass. Normally she kind of just dies immediately. I think it's because I go a little too fast, but I died very early on in the first couple of runs. So she freaking strided. She got past the little bonus thing, so she got 600 extra tickets. The Crossy Road game is the best way to earn points if you're good at Crossy Road, because every jump is 2 tickets, and as long as you get to like 100, that's pretty good, because it only costs like 6 points to play that game. So it's pretty good to just get tickets, and if you get like past like a certain amount on the top, and you get like an extra 600 fucking tickets, which is normally like 250 to like 300, because no one's really all that good at Crossy Road who play that. So I almost always hit that like once or twice whenever we play. So it's it's fun. It's very fun, to say the least. I have a good time winning my ass off at that game. And then she won her ass off, which she always was like, I wish I could do that. And then she did, and I'm really happy that she did, because that's really fucking awesome. So, we both kicked some serious ass there. She played her Subway Surfers thing, because she loves doing that. Forgot to hit the button to, like, waggle the mouse around again. So, here we are again. But I'm so glad it doesn't just delete everything I said. I would actually cry. But, yeah, so we went, we kind of split off. So like it was me and my twin sister and then my older sister and her wife kind of split off and did some stuff. They played like a huge like zombie shooter game for most of their stuff. They actually are a legend, because they won a game that like those claw machine games, like where you have to like pick up a big stuffed coin and like drag it over there and like drop it without falling out. They won that. They won that first try, and they got my older sister like a big old like brown fuzzy ass bear, which was awesome. I'm like, how do you win that? I've never seen anyone win that. But before we saw that, we played a couple more games. There was actually one game that we played a lot of, me and my twin sister, which is like a little like beer pong sort of thing, where you like bounce the ping pong off the thing, or you can just toss them into some cups. That was very fun. You didn't get too many tickets from it, but it was just fun. We were there to have fun mostly, so it was very cool place. Really enjoyed it. Had a good time. I kind of sucked at it, but there were some times where I would like bounce them, and then it would go in one, and it was so satisfying. It didn't happen every time, but every now and again it would happen. I'd be, oh yes, that's for sure good. And eventually, the closest we got was 9 ever at a time. But sometimes it kind of let you cheat. So like if you can kind of like bring your hand pretty far out, because it wasn't like a it wasn't like skee ball where there's like a huge thing blocking the holes. You can kind of just lift your hand over and drop a ball into a cup and be like, oh, you got one. We didn't do that too much because we were mostly just there to have fun. But yeah, so that was just kind of fun too. And then eventually I was like, oh, I missed, so I went to go grab the ball again so I could throw it again without it tracking that I missed the ball. But then I was like, cheating detected. Stop that. Okay, you win. I won't cheat ever again. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we played a couple other games. There was one where, like, you can, like, throw balls into, like, these, like, different colored, squares, and they kind of change the points depending on where they were and stuff and what color they were. That one was out that day, and we loved playing that one, so we were pretty sad about that. But, there were still some other fun ones. But eventually we were like, we need to find our sister, because we haven't seen him in a while. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go find him. And then first they went to go find him while I played some of the Pong game. To no success. They did not find him. So I'm like, alright, you play, I'll go find him. Because they're obviously not dead or something. I feel like they're pretty capable to handle themselves. So I walk for like 10 seconds, I find them, and I'm like, okay, I'll go back to tell them. But then I saw these little SpongeBob like coin things where you like shoot a coin in and it like pushes. It's like a coin pusher game. I love those to hell. There's like a mobile game for that I played hours of as a kid. I love that stuff. And I looked at one of them because there was 2. One of them had like nothing in there really cool, but one of them had 2 of the little character cards very, very close to the edge. And I'm like, ooh, I could put some points in there to get those. And eventually, after a couple tries, I did. Because I had to get right back into the groove, because if you hit it at a certain time, it rolls into a thing, and there's like a big bonus thing with a bunch more coins spit out. So I got back into the groove of that, and then after like two rounds of points, I did knock him out. I'm like, yeah, I did it. My sister's gonna love these, because I get them for my sister. But it didn't actually come out. And I'm like, oh, that's sad. So then I go back, and I'm like, I find my twin sister. I'm like, yeah, I found him. I'm sad. My thing didn't give me the things. She's like, we can go talk to the guy. I'm like, no, I'd rather just complain about it. I don't care too much. They're mostly just to give to you, so I guess I should care a little bit. But I just kind of, it's just kind of, I don't, because I don't really, I don't like complaining about things to people. So, but then I go to my older sister and tell her the same thing. I'm like, yeah, I always feel like complaining. You know, I'm a complaining Jane. She was like, oh, you know, we can go talk to them. And like, she did. She went to go get the guy, and he was super, super friendly about it. Super nice. He was a really nice guy. He worked there, which is a surprise, because I feel like, you know, every time I've talked to someone there before, they felt kind of dead, which is fair. You know, I mean, it's one of those jobs, you know. I completely understand the feeling of just wanting to sit there and not talk to anything. But yeah, like, they helped very a lot. Like, they could have just been like, nah, I don't believe you, but they got him out, and actually gave me an extra one. So I gave one of them was a duplicate that my sister had, so I gave my older sister one of them, and then I gave almost like a thank you, and also this is a duplicate. So if you like, she asked for one if they had an extra, and so I mean we did, and then I gave my twin sister the other two that were new, which was like Squidward and Sandy, I think. So, good stuff. Very, very cool. Very, very joyous. Yeah. We played some other games. And also, as we were doing that, my twin sister was like, oh my god, you guys are freaking bear? She's like, yeah, she did it like first try for me. And so she takes, she gives my sister's wife, my twin sister gives my sister's wife her card, and is like, get me one. And she's like, got you. And I'm like, okay, well, you're not going to have any points left, because it's not going to go first try again. That's not fucking possible. And as they're doing that, my sister's wife, like, is like, yo! And we look, and she got it first try again. And I'm like, how did you do that? That's fun. Like, I'm pretty sure the arcades make that fundamentally impossible to do. And they did it twice. And I'm like, oh. So once you're done with that, can you go get us one of those bears? He's like, oh yeah, sure. Again, really, really nice guy. And so we walked out of that whole thing with 3 SpongeBob cards and a new bear. So good day for that. We played a couple more games. There was like this Rabbids VR experience thing that I've been wanting to try, and like my sister's wife was like, ooh, I want to do it. I'm like, yep, sure. So I scanned us both in. And we put on the headsets, and it was the jankiest fucking thing ever. It was fun, but every now and again for both of us, it would just cut off and say, insert coin. So, like, in this big sequence thing, it would just fade out, and it'd be like, oh, no, where'd it go? And after, like, 10 seconds, it would show up again, and we'd be on this fucking track or something, and I'd be like, whoa! And, like, the thing rattled with you as you did it. It was very cool. I just wish it worked the whole way. Because that's how it's 30 tokens, 30 things, which is a lot for that place. Most of the games cost anywhere from like 3 to 12. That was 30 to do like 4, maybe 3 or maybe 4 minutes of just sitting there and rattling. So it kind of disappointed that it didn't stick around the entire time, but it was very fun. We had a good time with it. And then we did a couple more things. We checked out the prize thing. They got like a cactus car charger. Very cool. I didn't get anything. Because I want to save it, because for like 12, I had like 3,500 tickets in there, and like, it was pretty easy to get tickets, especially in the Crossy Road game. And for like 12,000 points, you can get Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controllers, which I have been wanting to buy for the longest time, so I might as well just fucking invest in that, in the arcade. So, I also really want to get, for like 60,000 over there's like an alto saxophone. But I'm never gonna get that. I'm not that patient. I'm also not. I don't. By the time I get it close, it's gonna go away. I know that's how it's gonna work. Yeah. So that was the arcade, and then went to a couple other places. Went to Barnes and Nobles that day. Barnes and Noble. Sorry, I keep forgetting it's not plural both ways. And we got like a couple things. I got some cheap board games. Suro, like the dragon game. It was $35 normally. It was $15. So I was like, fuck yeah. Dude, I can get Suro. This is awesome. And I also got like another murder mystery type game. So maybe I'll play that here. Because I feel like that'd be kind of fun. But we'll see. We'll see how that works. I had to figure out how to do that if I want to do that. But yeah, because there's a lot of like reading stuff, so I don't want to just have a bunch of blurry text boxes for you guys to look at. So I'll try to get that sort of figured out. But yeah, that sounds like fun. And I got some other stuff from there too, but it was pretty much just kind of like, oh hey, we're at Barnes and Noble. They love Barnes and Noble. They love reading and shit, so it makes sense that I wanted to go check it out. And we went to like a PetSmart again because we needed some bedding for the guinea pigs, and I got my sister like an auto feeder for the cat. Sometimes they're out for a while and they kind of have to like feed them on like a wrong schedule thing, and they like feeding them on a specific schedule, so they're like, oh, we need a feeder. I'm like, oh, I gotcha. So they got that, and then towards the end of the day, we went back because at Walmart a couple days before this, we got the Final Destination movies, all of them on DVD for like $10, all 5 of them, and I'm like, holy shit, that's super cool. So we went to watch them, and I thought we were gonna go from 2, but most of my sisters didn't really watch the first one. They were making bracelets, and they were kind of facing away from the TV. So like, alright, that makes sense. So we watched the first one and the second one that night, and we said, let's just call it there. So pretty good, pretty fun stuff. And we went to bed. At least I went to bed. They apparently every time I went to bed on these days, they kind of stayed awake for like hours more, which is completely fair. And it's a vacation. Might as well spend some time. I actually spent a lot of that vacation either staying up till like 2 to 4 in the morning or going to bed at like 10 or 11 o'clock. And last night I went to bed at like 11, maybe closer to 12. So I actually woke up fairly good, fairly refreshed. It's very strange actually getting enough sleep. I gotta say, I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, I don't know what it is, but them being around just somehow makes sleeping a lot easier. Like, I guess because I'm actually doing some stuff with my day, so I feel tired by the end of the day. So I'm like, oh, cool, I can actually get some sleep. And then I wake up super early, and I'm like, wow, this is great. I feel actually like, refreshed and ready to do things. So I'm hoping to keep that going. But we'll see. Because there are also other times again where I went to bed at like 2 to 4 in the morning, and then I woke up at like 11 in the afternoon. Still pretty refreshed, but just like, it's like noon already. God damn it. So we'll see. But either way, I'm getting a lot nicer sleep. So, yippee there. And now we come to the last day of fun times for me, or for the vacation anyway. And that was Saturday, which was 2 days ago from now. So a lot, I guess, after I got home, I remembered that I wanted to do this. So I wrote a lot down. So because it was just a thing. Oh right. God, how did I forget this? This must have been Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday, because that was when we were going to get all the ZD stuff. Before we went to Walmart, so Tuesday was the Chinese food. Wednesday, before we went to the Walmart, we went to, sort of like we went to visit, town. I forget the name. But there were a couple, like, cool stores in there. And one of them in particular was a board game store that I really wanted to go to for a while. So we went there. We also went to like a Rainbow and like a little bakery thing. Very fun stuff there. They have a lot of cool, cute stuff going on in that little town. But sorry, my throat is a mess. But we went to this board game store, and it's a locally owned one, so I think it's kind of a bit more expensive than when you get things from most other, like if you go to like Amazon or like a Barnes and Noble or Target or something. Completely fair, I get it. But there was one game that I've been looking for a while that I didn't really feel like getting online. It was like a little bit more expensive than it was online, and that's Near and Far, which is like the sequel to Above and Below. And I love Above and Below, and I've been wanting Near and Far for so damn long now. And so I was like, fuck it, I want it, I'm getting it. And I got it that day. And then I got my sister's like some pins and stuff, and then after that we ate at this little restaurant thing, because we sat down that day because there were some benches, there was like a table and some chairs outside. And I'm like, oh, we can't actually sit here because it's like it says like sit here for like if you're gonna eat, and like, scan this QR code for a menu. And I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of weird. But we're like, oh, we'll just sit down for like a couple minutes, and so we sit down. And immediately, someone comes out to, like, give us a bunch of, like, forks and knives and napkins and stuff. And like, how you doing? And we're like, oh, well, we haven't decided what we're gonna get yet. So we're like, if you can just give us some time. And they're like, so you're not gonna order anything? And we're like, oh, well, we haven't done the menu yet. Well, we'll come back in a little bit and we'll figure it out. And then they just sort of like quickly took all their things back, and they're like, oh, okay. And they thought we were assholes, which is completely fair. Because our main intent was to just sit there for a couple minutes and then just leave. But we're like, all right, fuck it. You know what? We'll come back. Let's scan this menu. Let's see what they got. And they actually had some pretty cheap, pretty good food, like good sounding food. And so after like 10 minutes of us looking at this menu and being like, all right, I guess we'll order some stuff. And we're like now waiting for them to come back out, but they're like, oh, we'll just wait for them to leave. And I guess they're finally realizing, oh, they're actually gonna order something. So they come. I did it again. But so they come out, and they're like, oh, so you guys are actually gonna order something? And we're like, yeah, sorry, it's our first time coming around here, and we didn't really know what you guys had, and we wanted to make sure we had some stuff in mind before we actually took an order. So like, sorry, we haven't done the menu at all. We're pretty new to this. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we can understand. They were very nice. They're still very nice. Like, they were passive aggressive, but they were very nice. And they had really good chili. They had really good nachos. They had a lot of just good stuff. They had good food. It was very fun time. And eventually they were really nice. It wasn't that expensive. It was just a really good place. But that just intro bit, the whole intro to this place and this person was fucking hilarious to us. And this brings us to finally back down to Saturday. So again, I played near and far, which is why I had to mention the whole. Wait, that was Barnes and Noble. I don't know. I played near and far. Oh yeah, because that was the store I went to, right? So yeah, I got this game and then I played it on Saturday in the morning because I woke up pretty early. I was like, oh, I want to do something with my morning. Because they all pretty much sleep till like noon. So they were asleep. So I was like, I'm just gonna play something. Played near and far. Very, very fun. I fucking love that game. It's a head scratcher, but I love strategy games. So I was excited to get into it, and I was very excited playing it. I had a really good time. I wrote down an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like that's pretty fair, because there were some times where I was like, this feels a little tedious. There's a lot of just like upkeep-ish. But there wasn't really, because I was playing 2 players on my own, so I added a lot more upkeep for myself. So for a 1-player experience, there was a lot to keep track of for multiple players. But if you're playing with friends and stuff, like family and whatnot, or just someone on the internet or whatever, or just playing with someone like a board game cafe, it'd be pretty smooth. It'd be a very smooth game. It was very fun. I really enjoyed Near and Far. So that was cool. And then this day, that friend was finally free. From Wednesday, when they said I can't hang out, they were able to hang out on Saturday. So we went out with them to a couple stores and had a fucking blast. So the first place we went to was like I don't remember the name of the place, but at the end of it was like it said it was an arcade on the door, which it wasn't. It was like a place with a bunch of like homemade like shops and stuff. It's like a bunch of little places where people can like sell their stuff that they make, which is very cool. A very cool idea. And so, we went in there and we were seeing what they had. It wasn't all homemade stuff. They sold some like stuff they just must have found somewhere. Like at one point, me and that friend were walking towards the booth, and we were both like, "Oh my god!" And they were like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I know!" And I pointed to like a Lego Disney princess set that was on the stand. And then they were like, no, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Monopoly, it's behind it. And I'm like, I see. And then they laughed at me because they're like, why do you care? Lego Princess, you're stupid. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty stupid. But yeah, it was a really good time. We had a lot of just walking around these little booths, just seeing what people were making and selling. It was really cool. I got some chocolate-covered pretzel rods, which I haven't eaten yet, but I'm sure they're good. They're in the fridge, so they're not gonna just melt in my like backpack or something. They're around. They're alive. So that's good. I know, right? But yeah, really, really cool place. A lot of fun little things. They had something I wanted to get. It was like $6. It was a bag of random Legos with 2 little minifigures in there. I didn't care much for the minifigures, but I just wanted to get a bag of Lego and see what I could make with that. But I decided against it because I pretty much already did that with the Lego Air, the little like rocket ship set. I kind of already did that with that, so I've already mastered that whole thing. I made the frickin' Sydney Opera House, the intergalactic Sydney Opera House. So there's nothing else that could really I peaked already with that sort of stuff. So it's whatever. That is actually on my learning to build video. Go check that one out. That was fun. You're still here, right? But yeah. So after that store, and also we smelled a bunch of candles in that store, and that friend fucking came over and put a candle to my face and like, smell it, and I inhaled, and I immediately started to gag my face up. I almost threw up. It was so bad. It was apparently just like a really strong type of coffee, and the coffee smell and me do not mix. I despise the smell of coffee to everything. Like, I would rather sniff a jar of peanut butter than a pot of coffee, fresh coffee especially. That means something to me. I hate peanut butter smell, and I hate coffee smell exponentially worse. It's disgusting. I can't. So every coffee candle that we found, they were like, "Oh, hey, smell this one." And I smelled them, like, "Oh, it's coffee." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So that was nice. It was fun. It was a very fun place. Awful candles. Bought some pretzels. Good, solid store. And right next door was an ice cream place. And I was like, "Oh, cool, ice cream place." I don't really like ice cream. I don't really eat ice cream, but I'll come here. And they wanted to go anyway. That was the main place they wanted to go to. So okay, let's go there. And they also had some like candy and stuff, and they had some homemade candy. So they had, well, I say homemade candy, homemade treats. Because what I wound up buying from there was chocolate covered potato chips, which I had a couple of, and they are pretty weird, very chewy. I feel like when I put them in the fridge, I put them in the fridge now because I didn't eat all of them. So I feel like now that they're in the fridge, they'll probably be a little bit more crunchy, which is probably what they're supposed to taste like. But the chip inside was very soggy because of the chocolate, so I have no idea. But it was still good. It still tasted nice. It was just very strange. I was going to get pretzels, because I love chocolate-covered pretzels, but they didn't have any, because I guess everyone bought them. But yeah, it was an interesting choice of thing to serve, and everyone had ice cream. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll get ice cream too. You know, because I've had ice cream maybe once before. I had like a vanilla custard, what they called it, with some like rainbow sprinkles on it. And that's like a lot to eat, but at the end, I remember eating that thing and finally finishing it and be like, ooh, there's like a waffle bowl at the bottom, and I ate the waffle bowl, and that was the best thing I could have put in my mouth that whole day. I love that so much. So I was like, hey, I'll do that again. I'll get some ice cream with a waffle cone. Okay, so I was like, hey, can I get a soft serve? Because I didn't want like hard ice cream, because I don't like me and cold mouth. No, especially for my teeth. My teeth are very sensitive to the cold, so that was not gonna happen. And so I was like, oh, I'll get a soft serve in a waffle cone. I got a regular soft serve in a waffle cone, and this was $4. It was normally $3 for like a regular cone, but I asked for a waffle cone, which is a little bit more. So for $4, they give me a waffle cone, which is pretty big, and then imagine the biggest mound like someone could reasonably put inside of a waffle cone. They did that. Like, put your hand in front of you, right? And then put your other hand above that, like 6 inches up. Like that was the amount of like waffle cone, and this is a pretty big waffle cone and soft serve on top of that. And this is like my second time in like recent years eating ice cream. I had to eat that whole fucking thing because I did like it. It was good, and I wanted specifically the end to happen because I wanted the waffle cone. That's the main thing I was looking forward to. So I was like, I'm gonna get like, I'm not the large ice cream. Let me just get a regular and just a waffle cone. Because then I'll just eat a little bit of ice cream and then I'll have a good time with the waffle cone afterwards. That thing was so full. It took me like half of an hour, the most painful half an hour, probably more than that, to eat that thing. It was so awful. Like, it was good, it was tasty, but it was so much. By the time I was like halfway done, everyone finished their ice cream, everyone was standing up, everyone was kind of like wanting to leave, but they couldn't because they had this freaking ice cream ball and chain, ice cream scoop and chain linked to them, me. And I'm sitting there like licking this thing and talking to them, and also like I'm apparently much louder than they are. So like they're always like, why do you have to scream everything? So they're trying to talk about somebody behind us because they had like a Subway cup, and they're like, why is the guy holding a Subway cup? And I'm like, they're on a Subway. Like unironically doing that, like some shit that like someone like an 80-year-old grandpa would do. And they're like, you too loud. Shut up. I'm like, what? But very fun time. But it's such a painful eat, and honestly, it was just getting sad at some point. So at one point, I'm like, everyone else is standing up, so I should stand up too, and just show that I'm gonna finish this fucking thing. Because eventually, I got the mound mostly down. It was kind of just whatever was still inside of the cone, and then some. But because I had it in the cone for so long, it started to like moisten up, and every time I would try to like lick it, it would kind of like crack the foundation of the waffle cone a little. So it started like dripping onto my hand, and in multiple spots. I'm like, gosh, I gotta lick that off. And eventually I just fucking gave up. I was like, I just need to finish this goddamn cone. People already left the building. It was literally me, that friend, and my twin sister still in this store. As I'm just slowly churning through. I say slowly. I was going much faster. Still slowly churning through this fucking ice cream. This is like, again, I don't really care much for cold. I don't care much for ice cream. So I'm just trying to down this thing in as much of a pleasant of a way as I possibly can. And eventually, I'm standing there. It's dripping all over my hand. It drips onto my shirt. It drips onto the floor. I'm trying so hard to just finish this thing off so I can be done with it. And after like 10 minutes maybe, it's finally gone. I chew on that waffle cone, enjoy. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know what? It was worth it. Because that waffle cone is so fucking delicious. I love waffle cone. Especially when it's like kind of moist and filled with some nice goodness. Great stuff. And then I had to go into the bathroom. I had to get my sister to open the door so I could wash all of my hand, my face. Everything was covered in fucking ice cream. It was a mess. It took me like 2 minutes to clean it all off my hand and arm and shit. 'Cause it was all so sticky. It was a mess. It was so bad. But you know, they were like, yeah, you finally finished it. Good job, you fucking idiot. I'm like, I ordered regular. And they mentioned so many times how sad I looked. Because I just looked miserable trying to down this thing. And I was like, I just wanted the cone. I didn't even want all this ice cream. And my sister was like, there's no way. There's no way I just heard someone complain about having too much ice cream. What is wrong with you? I'm like, you know I don't like ice cream. But it was fucking wild, man. It was absolutely wild. But yeah, it was pretty good ice cream though. Very good. Soft serve? Love me some soft serve. But I would not want that much again in my entire life. And we went to one more store after that, mainly. Because then we started heading home after that, mostly. But it was like a Goodwill-ish store. It was like a. What the fuck is a Goodwill? What's a Goodwill? Like a donation store. People brought stuff in, they donated it, and they put a price on it. Like, all right, here you go, super cheap. It was cool. And pretty early on, my older sister, showed me this puppet, and I can't stress enough how creepy this puppet looked. It was like a princess sort of thing. Like, it was like a very yellow dress, and some like really stupid looking yellow hair, and they had a little hand that you could waggle around with a stick. And I immediately put it on my hand, which was also the wrong hand, by the way. I had it on my left hand, so I tried to move the hand that they had with the stick. It was very awkward. But I fucking love that. I love puppets. Big fan of puppets, especially because just how stupid they can be. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I can't say anything else other than I just had a puppet on my hand, and I just spoke a bunch of nonsense to them, and we laughed about it for a while. And it was only $2, so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna buy this puppet. And the person at the checkout is looking at me first weird, and then they started laughing around because I was just like, okay, sorry, it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna go take my thing, and I'm out of here. So they just, it was so stupid. It was $2. I bought the damn puppet, and at one point we're like, what's your name? And I'm like, well, you know, Beatrice. They must have exploded. I'm not Beatrice. I'm actually Beefris. Like beef rice? Like beef and rice? Beefris. That's me. I'm Beefris. So Beefris. I don't know. I'm gonna say it. I don't know where they went. They're somewhere in this house. I don't know where they could have gone. Maybe they grew legs and left. I don't know. Genuinely have no idea. But, yeah. So I have that puppet. But yeah, so right now they're AWOL. I have no idea where it is. But we also went to a grocery store to get some like dinner stuff. They wanted to make like a chicken soup sort of thing. And I had Beefris on my hand the entire time. So it's still the wrong hand. And, just had that on me. Waggled it around. Had a good time. And we got home. We started watching some like Master Chef. And we ate some dinner. And I also drank some stuff. I finally got to drinking those little vodka shot things that my friend from work got me like a month ago on my birthday, or the day after my birthday. So it's been over a month since I've had those in my disposable. But I finally had them, and dear God, because they were all mostly joke ones. One of them was a lime one. It was good. It was very limey. One of them was a root beer one. And what was an Old Bay seasoning one? The Old Bay one, they were like, I don't know, this is fucking stupid. I thought you'd like it because it's stupid. And I'm like, yeah, I do like it. It's pretty stupid. So I went to taste it, and I'm like, it's not that bad. And I take like pour a little for my sister. These are pretty small bottles, but I pour a little for my sister, and she shots it down, and she's gagging like a motherfucker. She hated that thing, and I'm like, how? It doesn't even taste like that much of Old Bay. And granted, I guess this is my obliviousness to the whole situation. The only time I ever had Old Bay seasoning was once when my coworker made deviled eggs for us, for her, and then she offered me one or two, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll have one. And I had Old Bay seasoning on top, which didn't really taste like much to me either way. So the flavor I didn't really link to fish, but they did. So that was pretty fun for them. Just to watch them gag on that was pretty funny. The root beer one was fucking... Ugh. The flavor of root beer is it's bad, but it's not like gag bad. It's just bad. And then they're all pretty strong too. They're like 35% alcohol. They're always like the little things supposed to like put into something to make it taste and have a little bit of a kick. What I did was I drank all three of those tiny little bottles. And eventually I mixed them all together to see what the flavor would taste like. It was fucking gross. Never do that. Never mix Old Bay, lime, and root beer. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's disgusting. But I had that, and then I also had they had like a weird like seltzer that had like a little bit of kick into it, a little bit of something like alcohol-y in there. But the foaminess of the fucking seltzer made me just not want to drink it. But I drank it. And it was good. But that had me a little loopy, I gotta say. I didn't have a lot of water when I drank, like last month. I had a lot of water. I chugged water, because that's what I normally do. But in this particular situation, I didn't have that much water at my disposal. And I didn't feel like getting up and getting some more water. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just ride it out. And goddamn, it was a wacky time. I was a little inebriated, I'm gonna say. I wasn't wasted. I was just a little bit loopy. Not loopy, but I was very, very limber and loose. Every time I would move, I kind of just would sway with it. My whole brain with it. It was a weird, fun time, I gotta say. It was very interesting. So to say I got a little bit off my gourd, it was pretty fair. And we had some dinner. It was very good. And then they eventually left after they ate. They had to go. I got stuff to do. Cool. They left. It was very cool. I had a blast hanging out with them. And yeah, they left. And at one point, my ma was asking for something, and I was like, "Oh, here, I got it. Let me just kick back." I was sitting on a recliner, and I went to go kick back, and I didn't realize, because I was still a little, kind of loose, that right in front of me was a folding table with a bunch of the food and drinks on it. And I kick it back, and my mom screams. She freaking as if someone was just was murdered in front of her. That so she's just I'm like what happened? And I turn around, and all the drinks, which were bottled and on the ground at this point. Luckily, my sister was there and caught the 2 bowls of food, so nothing actually fell over. So I don't know why she was going screaming that loud, but everything was fine. And at that point, I was like, oh, that's funny, because I didn't really give a shit, and my brain was kind of just like, he's having a good time. Yeah, so that was that. And then we watched most of Final Destination 3 before knocking out for the night. And that was my week of fun. Some other things, we watched MasterChef a few times, had some fun time doing that. There's some other things that we did, I'm sure. I just can't remember them, and if I remember them, I'm probably not going to be able to place them to a specific day like these. But overall, a very, very fun week. It's the most fun week I've had in a long time. Mostly because I've just been working for, like, almost 2 years now, actually. Which is kind of crazy, because like November was around when I first got my job. So, like, middle of November. So it's been almost 2 years. It's been very close to 2 years of just working at the same place. I love it. They're really cool people, really nice people. But having a vacation, very interesting to me. I will say, though, a couple things that happened at one point. At one point, I got very existential in my head, and for a few days, whenever I'd wake up, whenever I'd have like a waking moment just myself, I was constantly thinking, the world's gonna die. Everything's gonna die. The world's just dead. What's even a point? It's just dead. It's just like, yeah, I mean, it's true. You know, shit's going downhill in a lot of places, and it's gonna keep going downhill in even more places. But my usual theory with that, not a theory, but more just like a mindset, is just fucking, it's gonna happen. Might as well just enjoy the time you got. And you know what? I'm back in that mindset. I've stopped panicking about the future. So I'm good. I'm chill there. But I just remember for like a few days, I'd wake up and be like, oh, dude, I was just like almost shaking, and just how like afraid of the future I was. Which is a fair thing to be afraid of. I mean, it's very unknown. You don't know what the hell could happen in the future. But, eventually I guess we'll like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. I've had a great week. I'm just going to enjoy it with my family. And just, whatever time I have left, I'm going to enjoy doing something with it. And that was, I think, it might have just stemmed from whenever my family wasn't awake, I'd wake up pretty early and just not have anything to do. And not really do anything. So I kind of just sit there and be like, oh yeah, well, I think it's do nothing for a while, go back to sleep maybe. Having nothing to do, I have discovered, is one of the things I hate the most about existing. Honestly, not doing something during those like few hours of downtime, very strange. It was not what I'm used to at all. So normally I'd at least be like editing something or going live or recording something, doing something with that time. And I didn't, and that felt very weird. So I feel kind of happy to be going back to it now that, vacation's over, back to work. My siblings are my sister and her wife are gonna start finding jobs, so everyone's gonna kind of have some stuff to do. In a couple months, they're gonna be moved out, they're gonna be gone. There is a lot still happening. There's a lot still going on. I'm sure there's still gonna be time to have fun in the future. So obviously it's not just like back to the boring old grind, but it's hello to normalcy, I feel, which I'm happy to say. I'm happy to shake its hand and say welcome back. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But overall, though, that week was so much fun. I love that. It was a really fun week, and I actually worked yesterday, so right back on the grind already. And it was pretty, it was just a day. I didn't hate it. It was a good day. I honestly just have fun. I love working, so I love keeping myself busy, and work does that exactly what I need, and this does it for me as well, in a more creative way. So I'm very, very excited to come back onto this stuff. I have a lot of ideas. I got some stuff that make me kind of laugh, kind of giggle. I feel like there can be some things to do. I probably should have thought about some things to do, like more thoroughly. Haven't really. pretty bad at planning ahead. It's not something I do very well. But stay tuned. I'm not going to be going live I might go live tomorrow. Because again, this is going to be Thursday. I'm not going live for the rest of this week. This week is kind of just going to be me getting back into the groove of things, like editing and recording stuff. And then I'll go back live starting September at some point. Either that Friday or that Sunday. I'll decide. I'll decide on the Friday, I guess, if I have anything to do. I'm probably going to do Death Road to Canada again, or The Final Station again. One of those two. I don't know. That's kind of entertaining me. But yeah, so just overall, that's my week. That's been my week. It's been a fucking huge amount of fun. Like, holy shit. That was a great time. And I'm really happy that my sister's back in town. So we can just continue having a good time together. If not, just existing around them is a very positive presence that I'm very happy is still in my life. And is now closer to my life than ever before. It's good. I'm very happy. Very, 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 very peachy keen with how things are going right now. And I look forward to doing some more of this. Some more stupid things. Some more just kind of nonsense things. Yeah. It's just gonna be me doing stuff. In every aspect of my life that I possibly can. So it's gonna be fun. So thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Stranded Deep in Conversation. I know it's a long one, but this is kind of what I was expecting to do for this series. Just rambling about shit that I care about. And I have some ideas for this series that I've been wanting to do, but they've been pretty long episodes. So now that I have this sort of format going, I might do them. So stay tuned. With that, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.